Hi, welcome to Let's Have a Chat, the program dedicated to sparking innovation and fueling the minds of our viewers. Through insightful conversations, we'll uncover their achievements, the challenges they have faced, and the lessons learned along the way. So get ready to be inspired, motivated, and get the knowledge to turn your entrepreneurial dreams into reality. Let's have a chat.
As part of the Suriname Energy, Oil and Gas Summit and Exhibition SEOX 2024 at this beautiful Torarica resort, we're delighted to welcome Artur Nunes-Da-Silva. Artur is a general manager of TotalEnergies in Suriname since September last year, arriving during a significant period for Suriname. His expertise is invaluable in highlighting the collaborative efforts between TotalEnergies and Staatsolie in developing offshore Block 58. Let's meet Artur Nunes-Da-Silva. Mr. Da Silva, welcome in our program.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your career and the highlights of your career that have led you up to our beautiful country, Suriname?
I only worked in oil and gas, even though during my education it was not my initial plan. But in my country, it's definitely the most important industry in Angola. So at the end, because at that time already TotalEnergies approached me to finalize my studies in petroleum engineering. I spent some time as a technical and commercial advisor for business people in Paris. So it was the opportunity to see how much the business impacts sometimes the technical choices or can impact. After that, I had the opportunity to have management roles. I started by just having an asset, and that I became general manager for affiliates in Uruguay and in Canada. And before coming here to Suriname, I had for 5 years, I was in charge of all the studies for TotalEnergies that goes from discovery to the sanction of the project, where today we are calling here FID, and we talked about after that I have been appointed to come here to hopefully develop this new project.
Why you? Why did TotalEnergies choose you specifically for Suriname?
You have probably to ask my boss, our CEO, but he will probably have more insightful responses. But no, as I said, because I think I'm very experienced in terms of project development and also execution, and I have also an experience in building a new affiliate, setting up in a new country, and I think that they also, I mean, coming from Angola, having studied in France, I'm probably somehow comfortable with dealing with new cultures, new countries, diverse people, and that it's probably one of the factors that they put
Take into
factor
consideration.
in to
Yes,
decide. Yeah.
okay. So because it's a Spanish name, you are from Angola, studied in France,
Yeah.
so very international.
Yeah.
So where does the Spanish name come from?
No, it's not Spanish. It's Angola. It's Portuguese. So it's
Portuguese.
yes,
Okay.
because we have
Nunes-Da-Silva.
yes,
Okay.
it's Portuguese, and that's basically because it's I mean, it's the family of my father. It's nothing very special on that one.
Okay, because you've had boots on the ground, you know exactly, like you said, drilling platform, you had the technical studies. So if you talk about the company's overview from TotalEnergies, getting here into Suriname, can you highlight some key technology advancements and local content here spent today in TotalEnergies?
Suriname and the project we are trying to develop, and we hope and we are confident that we'll manage to sanction and go ahead with, it really fits well in our strategy. In fact, TotalEnergies strategy is based in 2 pillars. That is quite unique for international oil companies that are more focused on fossils than we are. One pillar that is integrated energy, where we are progressing because we think we'll need to transitioning, but we still think that there is a demand and the world will need oil and gas for a while. So we have the second pillar that is oil and gas. And oil and gas, it's gas. We are the third actor in the world. We are developing a lot, but it's also oil, and oil is important. What we try to do with oil and gas developments is focus on these developments where we can have a cost that is resilient. It means a break-even that is lower than $30 per barrel on one side. On the other side, to have less emissions. It means that we try to do better than what we have done in terms of emissions intensity. And is mostly on that area that we have innovation in this project that is planned to be, I would say, executed, is on the reduction of GHG emissions. In fact, it's not only the recent innovations or the best technologies available, we are also trying small new initiatives. So to make sure that this development will be with an intensity in emissions as low as possible. So we have a full electrical FPSO, and by the way, TotalEnergies was the first company to have an FPSO full electrical. It means that all the equipments are powered by electrical energy, and that is important because you can, in fact, better regulate and balance the consumption, so it's less emissions. But we'll also have what we call a closed flare, and again, we were among the first to put it in place. You know, oil and gas fields or installations in the people mindset or imagination, you see always this small flare. But today we found innovations that allow to have a closed flare. It means that you don't have a flare at all, there is no gas emissions. We are also much more focused on trying to avoid any fugitives, any small leaking. So we improve our cooling system, and by doing so, we improve our efficiency in the use of energy and reduce the emissions. And to end up on that regards, we plan to use one of our last innovations, that is OSEA. OSEA, in fact, is a small drone with very elaborated sensors that is able in a facility to see where we have some leaks of methane, because methane emits more than, when it's not flare, it's even more emittive. So we try really to catch all. Here we also do these surveys regularly to make sure that our FPSO stays efficient, acceptable level,
responsible levels.
Yes, of emissions. As we take out the oil, to maintain the pressure that allows this oil to come out from the reservoir, we need to inject water and gas. Here we'll inject water. So that is quite classical, but we will be alternating to have, again, the best efficiency possible in the recovery mechanism and get as much oil as we can from these reservoirs.
Depending on the place where you will drill for the oil.
Exactly, it depends on the type of reservoir, etc. But this year, yes, we will be using it based on the experience that we had also in Brazil. And I came to know that in Guyana, Exxon is also using this technology.
Of course, it's very nice. Fields. Yeah, that you can rely on expertise from all over the world to apply it to the basin of Suriname. Let's talk about Block 58 for a while. Key turning points and challenges. Can you name a couple of them in the exploration of Block 58 for Suriname? Yeah.
So the exploration, to start with, was very challenging. Exploration is the first time we drill a structure, where we have seen some potential thanks to the seismic and some knowledge that we have. And then after that, you see, okay, there is oil or gas, but I have to appraise. The appraisal has two objectives. One is to see the extension, how far it goes, so the volume is in place, but is also to understand how the flow goes into the reservoir. And our first successes in exploration, then the appraisal was not that successful. So we were emotionally, it was complicated. We were very excited and then very disappointed and then very excited. And finally, in 2022, we start having a better understanding. The fields in Suriname are quite complex from a geological point of view because they are heterogeneous. I mean, you can have something that is relatively different from one place to the other. So, and the thickness of the reservoirs is not that big, so the image is not that good, so we don't understand all. And the fluids that we found were not exactly the same. So then you have to make sure that there is compatibility. Some have more gas, so it's not exactly the same design to treat them as the ones that have less gas. And that's when in 2023, in summer when our CEO came, it's because this appraisal revealed to be successful and we had sufficient resources to go ahead. So that's one of the challenges. Then the technical challenges is because it's new. I mean, the sea conditions are new, the seabed is new for us.
A large part of your staff is locally attracted to work for TotalEnergies, and it has been increasing throughout the years that you've been in Suriname. It's been around 3 years now, I think. How is the working culture different from what you're used to or what TotalEnergies sets as a standard, and how do you incorporate the two cultures? What is your style? How do you encourage your staff? Because they have to adapt to the international standard of a multinational.
We spent $150 million in over 3 years in Suriname because we had our operations made from Suriname on a logistic base. We had services, transportation, accommodation, catering. We had also inspection services. We had also consulting in tax issues, in legal, because we need to adapt to the fiscal laws and the laws of the country. We had also a contract with a medical company in case of accident in the platform to take care of our employees. I must say that we are very positively impressed by the performance of the companies that work with us. They are very professional. They want to do the things right, and I think that is important. They are humble enough to always be asking for feedback. When it comes to our colleagues, most of them are young or with not a lot of experience. They are full of energy. It's true that we have a nice story to add that we want to build, but I found them with really a positive attitude with regards to the work, and again they want to learn. What I found that it's a bit different is that in fact in Europe, when you get the young engineers, we are a big company. In the big companies you have lots of procedures that structure what you do, because we have to make sure that we do it in coherence everywhere, that we don't commit mistakes that have a large negative impacts. And in Europe or in France or even in Angola, engineers are, there is too much procedures, too many procedures, we cannot do what we want, you need authorization for that. And here I found out that people were happy to have that.
Yeah, okay. Do you think they adapt very well to your different style of leadership?
Probably because Suriname is a diverse country. Again, they are probably used to different styles, to different cultures. It's their day-to-day life. They are quite tolerant, this capacity to adapt to different cultures. And they are curious about it.
That's very important.
Yes, and
yeah, it is very important. Okay, can you share with us your visions for the future of the industry? Not only the industry globally, because we are also talking about the time where we live in now, everything is green, but as you said, oil and gas will be here for decades to come probably, but there probably will be some kind of transition or working together. What is your view?
We decided, and again, we were probably the first ones in the oil and gas industry to commit in becoming net zero in scope 1 and 2, and in the countries where scope 3 also is at stake, we'll do so together with the society. And I think that in this strategy, this part is important because we are part of a society that takes decisions, that has ambitions and has a vision. It doesn't mean that we won't have oil and gas at that point. But today we have nearly 78% of fossils in our production. In fact, we want to reverse that. In 2050, we'll probably have only 25%, if not less, of oil and gas, and we'll have 50% of electricity and 25% of what we call biofuels and others. So that is really the vision, and I think that the industry will go that way. But it will take time, and we consider ourselves obviously part of the problem, but part of the solution, because we have the knowledge, we have the teams, we have also the financial capabilities to invest, to innovate, because it's expensive to look for new solutions, to develop new solutions, to